Okay, are you already done with? Oh, you don't need
I'm in
to.
my post license.
Yeah, okay, well,
So I
good.
do need to be doing my post licensing, but
Okay. Okay.
I've started.
Good point. I think so. Hold on one second, I'm gonna grab a mic, and we'll get started. How's that buyer going, the $1 million buyer?
It's good. We're still trying to find a property and I actually left him a message right before this. Seeing if we were gonna see properties this
Yeah, because
weekend.
they're not local, right?
Right, it's a tough. They
Yeah,
had two that they
does.
liked and they both went under contract before they ever saw it.
Darn, that's
Which
a bummer.
it is, but I think it also kind of opened their eyes that like it's an active market. If you see something, you're gonna have to maybe.
Yeah, I've heard more bidding wars and
Yeah,
things like
they
that.
should just got multiple offers on that.
Weddington?
No, not that one, on the other, she had one in Concord.
Right,
That just went live.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
She got
awesome.
multiple offers.
So it's like it's a
contract.
certain price point maybe
Yeah.
that they're going to finish with out there. Oh, do this. Okay, so the goal of today's class is to tell you about what you can do for listing clients that other agents can't, so you know what to say as far as how to get more listings. So the goal of this class is to land the listing and then get referrals from your listings. Okay, so even if you do not have a listing, this pertains to, first of all, open houses as well, your strategy. And I'm gonna show you how you can market other agents' listings. So even if you don't have a listing, well, other agents want you to market their listing. And there's actually a co-marketing agreement on KWV resources that I'm going to show you. So you'd be able to do all of these things today with that listing. As you guys know, I'm Leah with JuLeah Designs, right? We're an in-house marketing team. And we've marketed over 500 listings. I mean, last year we marketed around 400 listings for top producers in our market center for top dollar, right? So I'm going to show you the exact strategy and system that top producers are using to get more referrals from their listings and land the listing. All right, so you can be equipped so you know what to say. So first of all, let's go to kwvresources.com so I can show you A, how to book with us, and B, where that co-marketing agreement is. So kwvresources.com. Okay, right, that's our internal website for KWV. So first of all, as you can see at the top, it says marketing help. You can book with us every other week for free, and we can help you do your listing marketing or advise you on all of that. So anything I say in today's class, your goal is to know that it's possible, so you're gonna explain it to your listing clients. And then you can meet with us if you need help leveraging it. We can either do it for you or we can help you do it, right? So I'll give you all those options here. And as we go through the class, to show you where that co-marketing agreement is. So again, what this would be, oh, I don't have a listing, but I would like to market listings so that I can get more referrals from it, right? It's a win-win. The other agent wants you to do that as well. All right, so the office resources, if you hover over office resources, and then you can click on forms and checklists here. And that password is, capital B, lowercase AMC 350 to get in. Okay, so again, I hovered over office resources and then clicked on forms and checklists. And then under general forms here, it's just Google Drive. And depending, your Google Drive might be showing it more as, if you're looking at like this or the list view, it doesn't matter. We're looking for co-marketing agreement. So if it's in list view, right, you can toggle that in the top right and you can see that co-marketing agreement. It's a pretty simple form. All you're doing is putting in the listing agent's name and then your name. And basically what you're agreeing to is that if the property goes under contract, you're going to pay attention and not continue to market it as active. That's really what this does. But let's say what I would recommend, you can search in the MLS for listings from our office, right? So this only applies to other KWB agents. Find a listing that's in your target area. Okay, if your target area is South Charlotte, Marvin, whatever it is, Weddington, find a listing from our brokerage in that target area with a pool, some acreage, right? Those perform really well. And I'm going to show you how you can leverage that on social media, with ads, with postcards even, to get you more referrals, to get you business simply with another agent's listing, okay? So that would be step one if you do not have a listing, but if you're doing an open house, all of this applies as well. Of course, you don't need that at this point. Okay, and in general, knowing what I'm going to show you so you can explain it to your clients, what you can do that other KW agents can't, is very important. And we're going to start there. But first, if you could join me, we're going to go to Canva first, canva.kw.com. And I'm going to show you what resources top producers are using in Canva to get the listing. Okay, and also what you can tell your clients that you can do for them. For you. So we'll cover that in just a moment here. All right, but in today's class, what I'm going to take you through, we're going to take a look at where you would access the listing presentation, your open house resources in Canva, how to create social templates and have that as a part of the system for each stage. Okay, it'll be more the setting up the system of this. One second. And then I'll also show you what top producers are doing to effectively run ads for the property, to blast that out to their database via email and command and postcards, okay, to get more referrals. So I'll be showing you all of that in today's class. First, before we go into that, let me give you a quick rundown of what you can tell your sellers as far as what you can do that other agents cannot, that sets their property apart, okay? All right, so first of all, and this is a noteworthy moment. First of all, Facebook ads, the ads that I'm going to show you, and it goes on Instagram, it allows you to market their property to up to 10 different cities around the US. Okay, and even cooler, we can see referral patterns in Command that show us where the most amount of people are moving from to Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, and I'll show you this, okay? But more right now, I want you to take notes that you can do this. So the takeaway is that you can get extra exposure to their property in cities where we know the most amount of people are moving from to Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, most agents put the listing in the MLS, great, that shows locally, and we'll talk about that. you are able to get it even further, especially if it's a property with acreage, right? Guess what New York or California does not have, right? So getting their property in front of a target market will allow you to do that. And these ads, guys, just to give you an idea, this is not, you don't have to pay an arm and a leg, you can rent it for $10. The recommendation is running it for $35 to $50. I'll show you this, but the point is, right, for you to say that you can do that, it's not gonna cost you a bunch of money. Okay, also, when they list with you, their listing syndicates to 350 plus real estate websites. Alright, if it's a luxury listing, and I believe our price point, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, is 700 for luxury, might be 750. Okay, so what that means, so if it's either 700 or 750, I can look that up for you to confirm, but what that means is automatically, if you get a luxury listing with KW, it syndicates to the Wall Street Journal. So KW has a partnership with the Wall Street Journal. And I'm gonna show you where this article is, just so you guys can read it and know more about it. Answers.kw.com is my favorite website because it tells me just all things KW, command, and tech related. So again, answers.kw.com, I would bookmark that. And if you look up, I think, luxury listing, let me see. Yes. So luxury listing. You can see how and where do KW luxury listings syndicate. And you don't have to be a luxury agent for this to apply. And okay, so price point 700 is the price point. It will syndicate to the Wall Street Journal within 1 to 2 business days of going live, which is cool. So anyway, this just gives you more information. And you can see the luxury websites that it also automatically syndicates to that would typically be a paid feature, right? To be shown on Wall Street Journal real estate. Right, but this will be a great thing to even include in your luxury real estate or luxury listing presentation. Right, because this is where their home would be featured. Wall Street Journal. Pretty cool. Okay, one more thing to show you that actually just launched. So I'll pull this up with you. I just saw it on Instagram maybe yesterday. Zillow and Keller Williams partnership. Did you guys see this yet? Did you see that? Yeah, let's see what we have here. It looked like we are now able to, I don't know if it's this one, yeah. Okay, so, and I'll put this in the chat so you guys have this article, but this is brand new, literally March 17th, okay? So Keller Williams, so you as a KW agent are going to be able to take your listings and give them early listing exposure. So that's something that no other agents are going to be able to do, or not no other agents, but right, a small subset of agents are able to do that really sets you apart. I would learn about this so that you can verbally say it. My understanding is, yeah, Zillow is announcing Zillow Preview, which is a new way to publicly pre-market listings on KW.com, Zillow, and JuLeah before they go active. Reaching millions of buyers at the earliest stages of interest. So pretty cool. Again, we're looking at things that set you apart in a saturated market of everyone knows a realtor. No, not everyone knows a realtor who has these resources, right? And is this serious about their business. That's the difference between you and the average agent. Any questions on that? I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to answer, but
No.
Okay, feel free to ask questions anytime. I know it's packed, but okay, so now let's go into more of the how, the system set up. Okay, what you should be doing in what order. Okay, so first of all, in Canva, so I'm in canva.kw.com specifically, right? That's the KW branded accounts. And to get to the templates, the KW templates, it's under brand. I find this hidden. So it's under brand. And then it defaults to, you'll see at the top, it's selected all brand templates. So we're looking at the KW specific Canva templates. That's something that's not in the regular Canva accounts. What's cool about these are automatically in compliance. First of all, I'm thinking that listing presentation's at the top because I worked on it recently. So if you're not seeing that, you can search brand templates here for listing presentation. Okay. From what I've seen, this is the only one that's called modern listing presentation. Hey, are you looking for me? No. Are you looking for CE? Oh, you look pretty. Are you doing something?
Were you looking for me?
I'm not sure. All right. Good luck out there. Okay, so if I type in listing presentation correctly, then it's usually on down a little. Here it is, the second row. And that modern listing presentation. Okay, what's cool about these? Yeah, you can buy Etsy templates of listing presentations and they look all pretty. The bummer is though, they're not filled with accurate information, right? These listing presentations in here are already 23 pages all filled out. Now, usually the response I get is, wow, 23 pages is too many, right? That's totally fine. Pick and choose what you want to use, right? And of course, it's kind of next level. You can download this, give it to ChatGPT, right? For Gemini and be like, how can I optimize this for a first-time home buyer? Or how can analyze this as a top realtor and give me your feedback. How long should it be? What pages should I not include? How should I make it even better, right? But this is a great starting point. All right, so if you are creating that in here, you can click use this brand template on the top right. And it's not too many edits, to be honest. Like if you're okay with the design, which it's modern, it's sleek. To get started, try not to get hung up on it being the perfect listing presentation, right? So really all we're doing in here is you double click to change out any fonts or write any verbiage in here. As far as your headshot goes, right? We are just putting I mean, if have that in your uploads here, you'll be able to just drag and drop it over to the other headshot. And you can see it replace. Yeah.
Hi, it's Pam McElroy. I have a quick question. So I know we're in KW Canva.
Uh-huh.
And after that, like I'm trying to find this actual
Design. Yes.
Find it.
Are you under brand first? It hides under here.
It hides.
So if you click on brand first on the left-hand side of Canva, it should be on all brand templates already. Are you seeing this?
Hold on one second. I hid you for a sec. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
You're fine. Take your time.
Okay. Am I seeing what, Leah?
Are you looking at the brand section of Canva and then all brand templates?
Probably not.
Yeah, it defaults on like the home tab, which is all Etsy which is all Canva templates, which is great, but for the KW ones, we have to go under brand on the left-hand side.
Brand on the left-hand side. Okay.
And then once you find brand, it defaults on all brand templates, and then you can search listing presentation at the top. I might be able actually just to share this with you.
All brand. Okay. All brand. I see all brands.
Are you in the KW Canva accounts?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then all brand templates, you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Great, okay, great. And then search listing presentation here. And it's usually like in the second row.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Just let me know if I can jump in again.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so filling out any information, right, as far as editing any words is completely editable, right? So ChatGPT or Gemini can tell you what you should say instead in your tone more, right? But then, yeah, changing out any photos of the other agent, just drag and drop. So it's blurry. And then really what we're looking for is just mainly the things you need to change out is your contact information, right? So you can change that out just by double clicking and typing in your name. And I do not like how on this template it has your www.yourwebsite@kw.com. That couldn't be more wrong. Because first of all, just a reminder, you cannot put www dot before your KW subdomains. And obviously there's no @ symbol in these. So like your website address should be something like this, but with your name, no www dot, and yeah, the .kw.com. And let me show you too how you can add a QR code super easily to any of these pages, okay? So let's say, for example, if part of this, if it's a buyer one, because there's also a buying one, right? You can put a link or a QR code so they can scan any of it, let's say to see all your reviews or to go to any page on your website or another listing that you've marketed on your website. Okay, so let me just give you the how-to and we'll talk about other reasons that you'll use this. But let's say if I want to put that on the very front or the very last page, okay, super easy to add a QR code in Canva, which I love. On the left-hand side, you'll click on elements. Okay, and this is typically where we can find any photo. So like, for example, this photo is not very Charlotte, right? So if instead, first to show you, if I type in under elements, let's say luxury home or just home, right? You can play with the keywords kitchen, right? Luxury kitchen, it'll bring up different things. So elements and then search, right? You'll see a bunch of different options here. For this, we want the photos, right? So I'll click see all. And then I'm gonna just simply drag and drop any one of them that I think I might like, right? And I can test it out to see which one might be most fitting. I mean, if the property has been listed in the past and there were photos in the MLS, you could grab that and put it on there. I mean, I have question marks about compliance and stuff. It's not like you're blasting this out, right, anywhere. So I think it would be fine, but you know.
These done so.
Yeah, Leah said. Sue her too, please. Anyway, so yeah, you can see it's super easy to pull over any photos. Now to add a QR code on the front, same concept. So if under elements, I type in QR code correctly. I'll still do it. All right, if you give it a second to load, because it'll show you search results, but at the top it gives you this gray box right here. Okay, and this is what creates the QR code. So again, all I did was elements and search the word QR code. All it wants you to do is put in a URL. Okay, so if I'm putting in, let's say, a URL to my website so they can scan, or my mobile app, whatever it might be, we can go more practical in a little bit. So if you want to pull up your website to do this, or any site for that matter, I'm going to copy the URL. Okay, and then I go back to the tab for Canva, and I'm just going to paste that URL in. Okay, and you just click generate code. That's all, right? Crazy, huh? So now it's just like a photo that's on here, so I can resize it. I can put it at the top corner. I could put a little thing that says scan next to it if I wanted to, but I do think that's kind of intuitive or implied. But right, so and you can even just next level, you can even customize the colors, which is exciting because I'm design oriented, right? So this can really be customized, but the main idea is right, any link. If you do a video about and that's why I would use that for the listing presentation, especially. Now this is going to be a next level tip, so I don't want this to overwhelm you, but if you want to meet with me and I'll show you the how. Yeah, it would be really great for you to do a video about, honestly, your main pages here. So if you did an individual video about how you prep a home for listing, right? And then you put a QR code to that video of you explaining it. Yeah, some people like to read, some people like to watch videos. Giving them both options is pretty awesome to do, right? And sets you apart. Especially, things like your marketing plan. I can help you with that, right? Guide you on what that video should say, right? Yeah, it would be great for you to have a video on explaining that or how you price the listing that sets you apart, right? And what overpricing does to the listing. So that would be a great use of the QR code on there. And if you want more guidance on the video side of things, I'd be happy to brainstorm with you and give you ideas of what that should look like and how to actually pull that off. So if you want to do that, just meet with us. I'll guide you on it. Okay, so that would be your listing presentation. Of course, you can rename it up here. But just another tip is that you can share it from here in a public view link via like email first. So let's say I rename this to listing presentation. And then, okay, so if I click share, so obviously, let me show you how to download it first to print it, and then I'm going to show you how you can turn it into kind of like a website to send them. Okay, so from share on the top right, you'll see that download option. Okay, and in the file type, we typically want that for PDF. PDF print makes it way bigger so that it prints crystal clear. If you're emailing it, I would do like, and you're just attaching it, you can do PDF standard. But PDF print is really what you would want to go with. And then you can always pick which pages you want. So you do not need to print out all of them. You can pick and choose which ones you want. Okay. Now to show you how to turn that into kind of a website to send them a link before your appointment. So now if you're looking at what I'm looking at, I'm just going to click the back button next to download, or you can probably just click share again. Okay, and I'm going back to the main share menu. But you'll see this option for a public view link. Okay, so under share, and then instead of download, we have public view link. Okay. Then it gives you the option to click create public view link. Okay. And that allows me to see how many visitors have come to this link specifically. So if I click on copy, just for you guys to see what it looks like, and I can see anyone has access, so I'm just going to copy it and open it in a new tab so you guys can see how it would send it. So it sends it like this, which is a nice little click through, right? Isn't that neat? And links are clickable from here, which is cool too. Technically, so like if you did put a QR code, you could also like link it, and so it would be viewable to your video. Yeah, this looks really nice, doesn't it? Sent like this. So how you would do that then, right? So I grabbed the link. You could just put it in an email, right? Hyperlink it in an email. Are you comfortable with how to hyperlink in an email? Okay, great. I do recommend that. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, so that is how then you'd be able to throw that in an email and send it to your clients before the appointment. Just a quick note, if you do want to jot down to meet with us, I can even show you how to create a canned response in Gmail, right? And hyperlink this. So every time before you have a listing presentation, you can just go ahead and send them the pre-created canned response in Gmail with this link. Meet with us and I'll help you set that up. Just a quick note, we can do your listing and buyer presentation, both the print version and host them on your websites for $75. So if you need leverage around that, just let us know and we can do that. But we can also guide you on the how for free, which we're happy to. Okay, so that's one thing that you should be doing. Also, so I'm going back to the main Canva search tab. You should have two tabs open. One was the listing presentation and one's the main search we were in. Okay, but again, I'm under Canva brand and all brand templates. The next thing you really need to do is you need to create, even if you don't have a listing, your just listed, coming soon, under contract and closed pieces that you will use for every listing. Okay. Now, there are, let's see, the best thing to search first for you guys. Instagram. Okay. So, right, these are the KW templates, and you'll see a bunch of just listed posts in here. Obviously, you can use any of the regular Canva pieces as well. These are just already branded for you KW, which keeps things consistent for you. Okay, so your goal would be to find those templates that you like, customize it once, slightly adding your headshot and your information. And then every single time you have a listing, you are going back to the same coming soon post, the same just listed, under contract, and sold pieces. You are not recreating those each time. Okay, so your goal for after class today, because we're not gonna do it really right now, is to go find the templates that speak to you. Okay, and I'll show you the 2 ways I would recommend looking for them. So yeah, just listed under here. I'm just not saying a great deal of what I'm looking for exactly. But obviously there are, here we go, more just listed in here. So if you want to use these templates, you absolutely can. I'm just gonna show you how you would look at all of the Canva templates in case you want to expand your design. I'll tell you the 1 thing you need, or 2 things you need for compliance in order to use those. So under home, if you do want to look at all Canva templates, home, and then you can go ahead and search just listed here. And make sure, this is what I just did wrong, I'm clicking on your designs, it defaults on, change it to templates if you want to see all Canvas templates. Just listed. There we go. So real estate just listed worked better for me. And find a template that you like. So, you know, what agents do wrong, every listing they get, they're tweaking their templates, they're changing their templates, and it takes a long time, right? We want 1 template that we can use for each, and it builds brand recognition. It's actually worse if you keep changing it. We want it to look the same because it triggers to your audience what you're doing, your activity, okay? Now I'm gonna tell you more. What I'm gonna show you right now is the most strategic way to get these social pieces out once you create them. So if you guys need help actually creating the social pieces, feel free to meet with us, okay? Or this chat can tell you how. But I'm gonna show you on Facebook the most effective way to get it out once you create that social media post. So we're gonna look at that on Facebook and also show you how to blast it out to your sphere via email. All right, so I'm going to Facebook if you want to join me and bring up your Facebook in another tab. I'm going to show you what other agents aren't doing. That's most effective on Facebook. Second here. Okay. So we all know to post it on your social media, right? And that's is it gonna sell the listing? No, probably not. Is it gonna get you more referrals? Yes, that's the goal, right? So that's why we post it on your social media, and that's why it's important to post all the statuses on your social media. Or if you are more of a top producing agent that you're doing, you know, multiple listings in a month, you can't always batch those. Feel free to ask any questions. The main thing that the average agent is not doing that's very effective to actually sell the listing on social media is groups in Facebook, okay? So on the left side of Facebook, you'll see a bunch of shortcuts. These are your shortcuts. Yours is probably in a different order than mine. I see that a lot. So if you need to click see more at the bottom on the left, you can, but we're looking for groups. Groups is what we're looking for specifically, okay? And these groups in Facebook are different than like your Facebook page, okay? You know, because you're in the Keller Williams Valentine group, right? And I bet when you log on to Facebook, you usually see those posts first, right? You see that a lot when you log on. That's the first one you see. So the reason is that we're playing into Facebook's algorithm here. Facebook always shows posts to group members very highly on their timeline, okay? So when you post a social media post on your timeline or on your feed, right, you're at the mercy of the algorithm. We all are, right? And it doesn't want to sell your things. Facebook has their own things to sell, right? They have ads. So instead, Sharing it to groups is how you get more visibility because it's people already having a conversation about moving to Charlotte. All right, so in groups, so again, on the left-hand side of Facebook, I clicked on groups. And then let's search some groups. You can see which groups you're already a part of on the bottom here. But if I click search groups and I search moving to Charlotte, and we can play with these keywords, join these groups, all of them, whatever makes sense. It would be beneficial for you to join moving to Charlotte and then post your listing to these groups. And I'll show you more of the how in a second. And the algorithm will automatically prioritize that post because it's in a group and they're already having a conversation about moving to Charlotte. They want to see that content, right? It's not, that's where it switches from this is an ad to no, this is providing value. This is a home they could actually move into in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, so play with the keywords you're looking for, like people relocating to Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't, some of these are created by other agents, don't care, doesn't matter, right? Sharing it to this group is what will be beneficial. Now, once you go in, and I would just go in and join, honestly, as many as you can. If you do speak a different language, this is the top strategy as well. If you search, let's say in Spanish, moving to Charlotte or anything of the sort, there are also groups around that. So thinking about your target market, right? First time home buyers in Charlotte, anything like that, luxury in Charlotte, just play with the keywords and join the groups. Now, this is the important part of the strategy, okay? It is very important that you don't share from your page to the group, that you post directly in the group, okay? So I'll show you what you should and then should do. So when you have a new listing, right, or you want to post something, going to the group directly to create a post like you would is very important for the algorithm to prioritize that. And I'll show you what I mean not to do instead, okay? What we don't want, because the algorithm doesn't want this, is it does not want us to share from our page. So as opposed to going to your page and clicking share here, right, on the post, which yes, that's beneficial to drive traffic to your page. There are reasons that we do share, you know, and we can go over that a different time. But clicking share from here and sharing to groups, you can also do. I don't recommend that because the algorithm doesn't prioritize shared posts to groups. It prioritizes if you post directly in the group. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that one's really big. So yeah, make sure do that. That's one of the biggest things on social media agents are not doing that makes it actually effective. Any questions on posting to social media with your or Canva? Let me know. I'm going to switch to show you how to send your listing out via email to your database. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to command. So I'm going to agent.kw.com, log into command. Okay, and of course, it's really important to email your properties to your database. I'm going to tell you the best strategy to do so. That doesn't make it feel like here's a property I'm trying to sell, and more I'm keeping you in the loop. You're getting insider access before anyone else. I'm in the wrong place. Okay, Steve's next door. Because that is very important for unsubscribes. And for telling your client that you are blasting out their listing, right? They like to hear these things, even if, you know, it doesn't make a huge impact for the listing itself. All right, so where you go to create these listing emails would be in the design section. So on the left-hand side, we're going to click on the icon that looks like a canvas and a paintbrush. And then the action button's always on the top right in green. So what it wants you to do next will always be the button on the top right. So create design. Okay, and we're going to come back to the print option because I'm going to show you that's where you create a postcard. So I'll tell you more about that. But the email option right here, and click next. Okay, so this right here, you'll see a couple options. You'll want to click load more because there are a bunch of for sale and just listed templates, or a couple rather. All right, and either one you select, I'm gonna do the just listed one. I think the for sale is, yeah, they're pretty similar. You can click on both and see, and click next, okay? Main things to know here is all your contact information at the top autofills. You can see what it looks like for real from going up to options on the top right and clicking preview. Okay, and now you're saying it does usually do this in the preview. From what I've seen, it does not when we actually send it out. Send lots of emails through here. But this is the general what template what it looks like. It has your contact info, so we don't need to change any of that. All we do is, okay, so obviously replace image. I click. So it opens it on the right hand side and I click replace. Okay. I can grab the listing images right from here. So I could search by the address, or you can toggle what you're searching by. Okay, so search by the address. I'm just going to grab a rando here. You select the picture and click replace. Pretty cool, huh? It's pretty easy. All right, changing any verbiage like the information you click, it opens on the right hand side. You change the address. Same for, of course, all of this information. Ask Gemini or ChatGPT, give it the property description and tell it to put it in the verbiage for your sphere, right? To provide value. Telling them that goal is really important generally. Okay, and then you just do the same thing here. And one more thing, the view listing button, we want to link this to the property page on your website. So where it says view listing here, we can come up and like if you click on it, you'll see it says link to. I want to link that to a web address. And then I would pull up a new tab, go to my website, search for the property again. And then I would just use that link. So to show you how that looks, you search for the properties, the actual property, and click on it, right? And then I can grab this link right here, copy it, and paste it in. So the idea is, yeah, when they click on view listing, then they can see all the photos and the details linked to you, right? Because it's on your website, they'll see all your contact information. Then they're able to continue searching for homes on there as well. Okay. And if you need help with that, just let us know. But those are the main things that you really need to do here. And you can click save. Or you can also test it, by the way, send test email on the top right under options. And I would do that. Okay, so that's how you prep the email in Command. Okay. And just remember, as you're actually doing any of this, you can always go to answers.kw.com, search that keyword, and it'll give you the step-by-steps, or you can meet with us, of course. Okay, the two other things that I'm going to show you more the how and the capabilities here and how you would do it and what you can explain to your clients, because we have also how I talked about getting ads out, right, to other markets that aren't just here. So let me show you first. So first of all, we would create those ads under campaigns. I'm going to come back here though, because I'm going to show you the referral map instead first. So this is how we track where the most amount of people are moving from to Charlotte, North Carolina. So then we can take those cities and run an ad targeting those 10 cities, right? All right, so under referrals on the left-hand side, of course, if I click the KW icon on the top left, it pans this out so I can see referrals. So referrals, then map. This is a couple steps. And then under production here, right, this is where you can search for an agent in another city based on their production to give them a referral. But under where you see that drop down for production, click referral patterns. And it will default to KWRI as in Texas, okay? So I usually need to change it manually, the actual area on the top left here, just under search. And there's one more step, and I will repeat these steps. Okay, right now we're looking at a map where people are moving from Charlotte to, but instead on the top right here, this little arrow going into a box, right? That's saying received, so we just toggle that. This is showing us a list right? And on the right-hand side, you'll see this list of, right, the percentage of people that are moving. These are KW based, just so you know, right? But, so these are KW referrals, but still, you're seeing the most amount of people are moving from, and if we target, let's say, the top 10 cities, right? We can get their property in front of people who are actually looking at moving here. So it makes it way more effective. And when you run an ad through Command, it automatically targets people who are on Zillow, homes.com, realtor.com, right? So it's targeting people who are trying to move here and who are looking at houses on their computer. Pretty cool, right? To show you just slightly the how, okay, of this, because I'm going to give you a resource on the full way to do it. And of course, you can meet with us, we'll do it together. You do need a Facebook business page in order to run an ad. It does need to be connected to Command. And again, I'll give you a resource to do all of that if you need to. But just to show you what it looks like more under campaigns here. So campaigns, and you'll see create campaign. And you'll see paid ad. Okay, so these paid ads allow you to do a Facebook ad and an Instagram ad for your listing to get it in front of other areas, right? So when we come in here, we always want to choose the one that has this blue under it, right? What that's saying is when they click on your ad, it'll go through Facebook's lead gen form and autofills all their contact info from Facebook. And it has Facebook's branding, so it's trusted. So once they click next to see the full information, you receive that lead right into KW Command. Okay. And the beneficial part of doing that this way is then you can have Command automatically start on a follow-up plan for all those leads that come in from your Facebook ad. Okay. And I can help you set that up if that's something that you want to do. It just systemizes the entire follow-up. Okay, so I usually select the multi-image carousel, so the second one here for my listing. Okay, and it'll give you a few steps here. So I'm going to outline the main steps here for you to know, and then give you a resource on how you can do it all or how you can meet with us, and we'll help you. Okay, so first step, listings here, please add your listing. So this will look similar to when we were searching our listing before. You can see filters on the top left to actually search. I like to search for the MLS ID, it just makes it a little easier to pull that up. Okay, once you search for it, you can click select. Okay. Now, once you have that listing selected, it'll pull in the photos and such, but to show you the targeting first, all right, you can change it to custom location. So this is what I was talking about that allows you to put up to 10 different cities or zip codes, right? So we can do the local ones, right? But we can also do, let's say, if we saw on the map, I think Myrtle Beach was a big one, right? Or if we have a big property like with acreage, okay, yeah, New York City, Brooklyn, right? They're not living on lots of land out there, right? That might be a great targeted thing to do. So, but what I usually do is have the list open of the most referrals coming here, and then I use those top 10 cities. I do usually mix in local cities as well. So you can do both. And you can do up to 10, and you can see you're just typing it in and pressing enter or selecting it. Okay, you can put in the ad text here. My recommendation is to put it in Gemini and ask it and tell it I need the ad and tell it this body text in 255 characters and headline in 55 characters with the specific goal of getting them to click so I can capture the lead. Okay. What Gemini or AI will do is it will withhold certain information or give a teasing line, right, in order to get them to click. We don't want to give them all the information here because, especially the address, we never put the address here because then they'll just go to Zillow or something, right? The goal is to pull them in. You don't get the lead unless they click, right, and put in the info. It'll then give you options to select 5 different images from the actual property itself, right? So you can click and change those out. And I know I'm going through this quickly. This is more for you to see what exists, and then I'll give you the how to and can do it with you. Okay, this is where this is saying, okay, where do you want them to go after they submit their lead information? So how would they get all the property information, right? That's from, again, the property page on your website. So just like we did in the email when they clicked view listing, right? We would search the property. Hey, we would search the property on our website and just copy that URL, right? So the idea is once they click on the ad, then they're able to see all the property photos, all the property information, and even other things from there. Just a heads up, whenever I copy and paste from here, the HTTPS doesn't go away. So just make sure it doesn't do it twice when you paste that in. Okay, yeah, you can always just check to click preview URL to make sure you did that correctly and see that it pulls it up properly. Okay, lead settings here. This is where we're putting in if we want it to be tagged automatically as Facebook ad when it comes in, right? What do you want it to be tagged as? And you can create a new tag. I've done this before, so I have them, but you'll need to click create new tag most likely. And this is where I was talking about that you can automatically have them be followed up with by putting them on a certain smart plan. So if that smart plan for right now is the neighborhood nurture, right? You can put them on that, or the 8x8, that would actually be the best one. It doesn't actually, it'll give you reminders when to follow up with them. I do have a Facebook ad follow-up for our gold clients that I would be happy to share with you guys. Feel free to book with me and I'll be happy to add it to your account and actually set this up for you. So that every new lead you get from Facebook automatically goes on that smart plan. Book with us if you want that. But yes, that's what we're doing, is just saying it'll tag them when they come in and they'll automatically be followed up with from this smart plan. I'm just going to click proceed to last step on the bottom here so I can show you like the budget section here and what to expect. And then we can save this as a draft so you can come back to it and even just reference. Okay, so duration and budget. All right, recommendation is $5 to $7 a day for 5 to 7 days. So around $35 to $50 is the goal, but literally $10 is fine too. It's just you're paying for how much visibility, right? So I usually stick around $50. That's where our gold clients always start with. We usually wait until at least the first weekend that it's live, right? To make sure they don't, because you're spending money here, right? To make sure it doesn't go under contract. Because yes, you will get leads from this. I mean, you can see the estimated amount of leads. These are colder leads than your database, right? So these on average around 13 touches in order to convert anything from. So if you're trying to grow your database, this is a fine strategy if you're following up, right? If you have a system to follow up 13 times, right? But this is exactly what you want to do. And I mean, this is more what we're talking about is more to tell your client, right, that you can do this for their listing, right? And this does get the listing out to more people. You can see the dates right here when it would run. So it's saying it would start the 19th and then run through, and you can pick. All right, it's on the bottom here. I'm just going to click save as draft. And I know we're running out of time, so I'm just going to give you guys your resources and tell you the one more thing that you can tell your clients that you can do. So I'm going to click save as draft here. Okay, and this takes us like into the campaign section of KW. So you can click the back to campaigns arrow on the top left, or just listen for a second and I'll show you this final part here is postcards. So another thing that you can do is you don't need to know the addresses, right? In command, you can simply circle a map or do like 200 closest homes or circle anywhere and the postcard will go to their neighborhood. You don't need the address. This is your takeaway, okay? So postcards, those can go out in campaigns. The real takeaway is I'm going to give you the resources on how to do this, but this would be direct mail, right? You can send it out. We can do it for you as well for $65. So if you would rather us design it and send it, put a QR code on, etc., we can do that. We can do your entire listing marketing, like everything, a great deal of what I just showed you for $75. If you need leverage around that, let us know. Shoot us an email, put my email in the chat. What was I showing you? Oh yeah. But on answers.kw.com, just finally to give you your resources, if I were to search postcard. Okay, this is where you can learn how to do it right away, right? Of course, ChatGPT knows how as well. Same with, running an ad in here. If you just search, right, it'll tell you the how, or just come meet with us, right? KWB resources, click marketing help, will help you implement this for you. Any questions I can answer? Okay. So just to overview one last time, main things you should be doing is you should have your social templates prepped and ready, right, for social media for your listing. You should always be sending an email to your database. If you want more referral, these are the paid items, so it's not a must, but running an ad for your listing ads get the most amount of leads. And finally, sending a postcard. Postcards they're for referrals, right? So if you need help implementing that, feel free to book with us or shoot us an email. In the meantime, we do have virtual appointments. When you click on marketing help, our first in-person one is in April, but we have virtual appointments even starting this week if you need listing, or I guess next week, listing help sooner than that. All right, guys, and I'm going to drop my email in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Just contact@juleahdesigns.com. And we're happy to help. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, you can't see my screen. Oh. Well. All day. But I thought. Oh.